toxic people aren't always obvious. They don't always yell or attack. Most of the time, they come at you quietly with questions. Questions that seem harmless, friendly, or curious. But each one is a trap. A trap to make you doubt yourself, feel guilty, or give away information you shouldn't. These are the subtle weapons of manipulation, designed to weaken your mind, test your patience, and control your choices. Today, we're exposing sneaky questions toxic people use and giving you the calm, confident responses that protect your power. Because once you recognize the trap, it no longer works. Once you respond with clarity, they lose control. Your peace becomes untouchable. Before we dive in, I want to share something personal. I get a lot of messages from people who feel surrounded by fake friends, constant drama, or emotional chaos. And they just want a place to be real. That's why I created a Patreon community, a private space where you can open up, share what you're going through, and get my personal insights. It's also where you can request specific video topics if there's something you're struggling with that you want me to break down here on the channel. If you're serious about growth, peace, and self-awareness, you'll fit right in. The link is below. Now, let's get into it. Here are things fake people always say, and the hidden truth behind each one. 1. Why are you so sensitive? On the surface, this question might seem innocent, even curious. Someone asks it, and it could sound like a critique, a joke, or an observation. But for toxic people, this question is a subtle manipulative weapon designed to undermine your emotional awareness and make you question your feelings. Toxic individuals thrive on control and power. They want to dictate how you feel, what you think, and how you react. When they ask, "Why are you so sensitive?" they aren't seeking understanding. They're testing your limits. They are implicitly saying, "Your feelings are wrong. You're overreacting. You're weak." And if you respond defensively, you give them exactly what they want: a reaction, a crack in your emotional armor, a reason to manipulate further. This question works because it attacks the very core of emotional intelligence. Sensitivity is not a flaw. It's a signal of self-awareness, empathy, and the ability to feel deeply. But in the eyes of a toxic person, these qualities are tools to exploit. They can use your sensitivity against you, guilt-tripping you, making you doubt yourself, or provoking an emotional response they can leverage. Psychological angle. Psychologically, toxic people often have low emotional intelligence. They cannot tolerate others' boundaries, feelings, or authenticity. When they ask, "Why are you so sensitive?" it's often because your sensitivity exposes their own discomfort. They are unable to process emotions healthily, so your awareness and care become a mirror of their shortcomings. Consider this scenario. You express frustration about someone overstepping boundaries. A toxic coworker smirks and says, "Why are you so sensitive?" Suddenly, your feelings are framed as an overreaction rather than valid expression. This small phrase chips away at your confidence, creating self-doubt and hesitation. Over time, repeated exposure to these questions can make you second-guess your emotions entirely. Stoic perspective. From a Stoic viewpoint, sensitivity itself is neither good nor bad. It is a neutral quality, just as any external event is neutral. What matters is how you respond. The Stoics teach us that no external opinion has power over our inner peace unless we give it to them. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." When someone asks, "Why are you so sensitive?" a Stoic response is calm, measured, and centered, not reactive. You acknowledge your emotional capacity without apology. I feel deeply because I care. Sensitivity is part of who I am, and I don't see it as a weakness. I notice things others overlook. That's a strength, not a flaw. Each of these responses takes the power away from the toxic person. They are no longer dictating your self-perception. You reclaim control over your emotional narrative. Real-life examples, family scenario. A relative mocks your emotional response to a comment about your career. "Why are you so sensitive?" they ask. Instead of shrinking, you respond, "I care about my growth, and I notice what matters to me." That's all. You maintain boundaries, protect your feelings, and refuse to be shamed. Work scenario. A colleague dismisses your feedback on a project with, "Why are you so sensitive?" You calmly say, "I'm invested in the success of our work. That's why I notice details others might miss." You remain professional while asserting your value. Friendship scenario. A friend criticizes your reaction to a joke saying, "Why are you so sensitive?" A Stoic response might be, "I choose what to laugh at and what to take seriously. That's my choice, not yours to control." Why it's dangerous? The danger of this question is subtle. It doesn't attack physically, but it attacks self-trust and emotional clarity. If allowed, it can create chronic self-doubt, guilt, and anxiety. Over time, you may start censoring your feelings, avoiding honesty, or overcompensating to please others, all outcomes that benefit the toxic person and harm you. The key insight is this: sensitivity is not a flaw, and your feelings are valid. You do not need to justify, explain, or apologize for them. Recognizing this empowers you to respond without anger, without guilt, and without giving away your inner peace. Practical takeaways: pause. Before reacting, don't answer immediately. Toxic people feed on emotional reactions. Respond with clarity. A calm, clear response disarms manipulation. Affirm your sensitivity. Own it. Sensitivity equals awareness and empathy, which are strengths, not weaknesses. Set boundaries. If the questioning persists, remind yourself it's okay to limit interactions. Your peace is more important than explaining yourself. Example: Stoic responses. I feel deeply, and that helps me see the world clearly. Sensitivity allows me to notice things others ignore. That's a strength. My feelings are mine. I don't need validation to feel them. By treating the question as a reflection of the other person, not a judgment on you, you protect yourself. The toxic person's goal is to make you small. Your goal is to stay anchored. When you master this, the question loses all power. It's no longer a trap, it's just words. Summary. Why are you so sensitive? Is rarely a simple question. It's often a subtle attack, a manipulation, or a test. But sensitivity is strength, not weakness, and your feelings are your own domain. By responding calmly, owning your emotions, and refusing to react defensively, you neutralize the trap. Stoicism teaches us, no one can touch your inner peace unless you allow it. Sensitivity, when guided by reason, becomes your superpower, not a vulnerability. 2. Why can't you be more like someone else? At first, it might seem like a casual comparison. Perhaps a parent, co-worker, or friend makes this comment with a raised eyebrow or in passing conversation. But behind this seemingly innocent question lies a powerful manipulative tactic. Toxic people use it to undermine your confidence, question your worth, and make you feel inadequate. When someone asks, "Why can't you be more like someone else?" they are not offering advice or showing concern. They are creating a mirror designed to distort your self-perception. Their goal is simple: to make you doubt your choices, your values, your identity, and ultimately, to gain control over your behavior. Psychological insight. This question plays on a fundamental human tendency: the need for social comparison. We naturally look to others for benchmarks, to measure success, skills, or personal qualities. A toxic person weaponizes this tendency. By comparing you to someone else, they exploit your self-esteem, making you feel less than or not enough. But here's the key: your value is not determined by anyone else. You are not a copy of someone else, and your path in life is unique. When someone uses this question as a weapon, they are trying to rewrite your story to match theirs, or the story they want you to follow. Imagine a workplace scenario. You submit a report, and your manager says, "Why can't you be more like Sarah? She never makes mistakes." The immediate reaction may be defensiveness or self-doubt, but the truth is, you bring unique strengths to your work. Perhaps your analysis is more thorough, your creativity more original, your perspective more nuanced. Comparing yourself to Sarah doesn't diminish your abilities, it only diminishes your confidence if you let it. Stoic perspective. The Stoics teach that external comparisons are distractions from your true purpose. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Don't let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace." Epictetus adds that you can only control your own actions, not how others act or judge. When a toxic person asks, "Why can't you be more like someone else?" a Stoic response begins with internal grounding. You recognize that your path is yours alone, and no one has the right to dictate your journey. Their comparison is a reflection of their own values, insecurities, and expectations, not a verdict on your worth. Real-life examples. Family setting. A parent constantly compares you to a sibling. "Why can't you be more like your brother? He's always so responsible." A Stoic response might be, "I appreciate my brother's strengths. I also value my own path, and I'm doing my best in my own way." This acknowledges reality without conceding your identity. Work scenario. A manager says, "Why can't you be more like Jane? She closes deals faster." Instead of feeling inferior, you could say, "Jane has her style. I focus on building long-term client relationships, which suits our company's goals." You assert your value without attacking anyone else. Friendship scenario. A friend comments, "Why can't you be more like Mike? He's always so fun and outgoing." A calm response, "Mike has his energy. I have mine. I connect with people differently, and that's who I am." Here you maintain self-respect while acknowledging differences. Why it's dangerous. The danger of this question is subtle but powerful. Continuous exposure can lead to chronic self-doubt. You start believing that you are never enough. People-pleasing behavior. You alter your personality to satisfy others' standards. Resentment and anxiety. Feeling that you're perpetually measured against someone else creates stress. Toxic people thrive when you measure your worth externally, because it gives them leverage to manipulate and control. They know that if they can make you question yourself, you are easier to influence. Practical Stoic approach. Pause and reflect. Recognize the intent behind the comparison. Is it constructive feedback or a power play? Affirm your identity. Remind yourself of your unique strengths and path. Your value is intrinsic, not comparative. Respond calmly. Use clarity, not defensiveness. A simple, measured response neutralizes the manipulation. Example, Stoic responses. "I respect their strengths, but I have my own approach that works for me." Everyone's path is different. I focus on being the best version of myself. I'm not trying to be anyone else. I'm focused on my own growth. Each of these responses refocuses the conversation on you without giving power to the toxic person. They no longer control the narrative. You do. Key takeaways: comparisons are tools of manipulation when delivered with judgment. Your journey is unique. Others' success or style does not diminish your own. Stoicism teaches that external opinions are neutral. Your perception is what gives them power. Respond with calmness, assert your individuality, and maintain your inner peace. By seeing this question for what it is, a reflection of the other person's insecurities, not a judgment on you, you protect your confidence. You refuse to shrink, apologize, or mimic someone else. Your identity, your choices, and your peace remain firmly in your control. 3. Do you even care? On the surface, this question may seem simple, even innocuous. A friend, family member, or colleague asks, "Do you even care?" It sounds like a plea for attention, an emotional check-in, or an attempt to express frustration. But when used by a toxic person, it's rarely innocent. Instead, it's a manipulative tactic designed to provoke guilt, insecurity, or defensiveness. Toxic individuals often rely on emotional leverage. They want to control how you feel and how you act by making you question your own priorities, empathy, and commitment. When they ask, "Do you even care?" what they are really saying is, "You are failing me. You are not meeting my expectations. You are flawed." Psychological insight. This question is effective because it targets a universal human desire: the need to feel like a good person, the need to be valued, and the need to be seen as empathetic. Being asked, "Do you even care?" triggers a natural emotional response. You might feel the urge to defend yourself, justify your actions, or prove your feelings, and that is exactly the trap. Toxic people feed on this defensive energy. Psychologically, this tactic works as a form of emotional manipulation known as guilt tripping. By questioning your care or commitment, the manipulator seeks to make you doubt yourself. You begin to overcompensate, feel anxiety, or bend your boundaries, all of which serve the manipulator's goals. For example, a partner complains, "Do you even care about what I want?" after you decline a request. The goal isn't your perspective, it's making you feel guilty for asserting your boundaries. A coworker asks, "Do you even care about this project?" when you approach it differently than they expect. The intent is not to improve results, but to pressure you into following their way, undermining your confidence in your own judgment. Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches that external opinions are neutral, and it is only our judgments that give them power. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't be disturbed, and you won't feel disturbed." When a toxic person asks, "Do you even care?" a Stoic response begins internally. You remind yourself, caring is not dependent on validation from others. You cannot control how others perceive your efforts or intentions. Your responsibility is to act according to reason, not to meet every emotional demand placed upon you. In other words, their question is a reflection of them, not a verdict on you. Real-life examples. Family scenario. A sibling complains, "Do you even care about the family?" when you refuse to mediate their drama. Instead of panicking, you could respond, "I care about our family's well-being, but I also care about my peace and fairness. That's why I handle this calmly, not emotionally." Work scenario. A manager asks, "Do you even care about your performance?" after a minor error. You can respond, "I am committed to my work and learning from my mistakes. I care about doing my best, and I focus on solutions, not blame." Friendship scenario. A friend says, "Do you even care about our friendship?" After you decline an invitation. A composed response, "I value our friendship, and I show it by being honest about my time and priorities. That doesn't mean I care any less." Why it's dangerous. The danger of this question lies in its subtle undermining of your self-trust and emotional autonomy. If you allow it to manipulate you repeatedly, you may start over-explaining your feelings and intentions. You may begin seeking validation constantly to prove your care. You may compromise your own priorities to satisfy the manipulator's emotional demands. Toxic people exploit the natural human desire to be seen as good, caring, or empathetic. When they plant doubt, they create leverage over your decisions, behavior, and emotions. Practical Stoic approach: pause before reacting. Don't immediately justify yourself. Observe the question as a manipulative tactic rather than a true inquiry. Respond calmly and clearly. One or two composed sentences neutralize the trap. Affirm your integrity, own your feelings and your actions without apology. Example, Stoic responses. "I care, but my care doesn't depend on proving it to anyone. I prioritize thoughtfully. That's how I show that I care. Caring does not mean sacrificing my judgment or peace. I act responsibly and deliberately." By responding in this way, you reclaim control over your emotions. The toxic person no longer dictates how you should feel, and their attempt to provoke guilt or defensiveness fails. Key takeaways: do you even care? Is often not about your care, but about manipulating your emotions. Your feelings, priorities, and actions are your responsibility, not anyone else's judgment. Responding calmly, firmly, and without defensiveness neutralizes the manipulation. Caring for others doesn't require validation, and setting boundaries does not make you uncaring. The Stoic principle is clear: your peace and reason are non-negotiable. The question is just words. Your integrity is your choice. You can care deeply and act responsibly without being trapped by someone else's attempts to control your emotions. 4. Why don't you do what I say? On the surface, this question might seem like a simple request or expression of frustration. A parent, partner, friend, or colleague asks, "Why don't you do what I say?" And it may feel like a mild critique. But in the hands of a toxic person, it's far more than a question. It's a power play, designed to challenge your autonomy, guilt you into compliance, and test your boundaries. Toxic individuals thrive on control. They seek to dominate, not through direct force, but through subtle coercion, often disguised as concern, advice, or authority. When they ask, "Why don't you do what I say?" they are not asking for input or dialogue. They are essentially asserting, "You are supposed to follow my instructions. Your independence is inconvenient. Your choices are less valid than mine." Psychological insight. This question exploits a fundamental human tension, the natural desire to maintain harmony and avoid conflict. Many of us are wired to want to please others, especially those we care about or depend on. Toxic people exploit this tendency. By framing your independence as disobedience, they attempt to provoke guilt, self-doubt, and compliance. Consider this scenario. A manager instructs you to approach a project their way, even though you know another method is better. When you politely follow your own strategy, they snap. Why don't you do what I say? A friend insists on a certain social plan. You decline respectfully, and suddenly they question your loyalty or commitment. In both cases, the goal is the same: to destabilize your confidence, pressure you into submission, and make your choices seem wrong or selfish. Stoic perspective. From a Stoic viewpoint, external demands are neutral. What matters is how you respond, not whether someone else approves. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. Your autonomy, your principles, and your judgment belong to you, not to the person trying to manipulate you. When a toxic person asks, "Why don't you do what I say?" a Stoic response begins internally. You recognize that you can control your actions, but you cannot control others' expectations or approval. You remind yourself that following your reasoned judgment is not disobedience, it is integrity. You understand that the question reflects their desire for control, not a reflection of your worth or loyalty. Real-life examples. Family scenario. A parent insists on a certain career path and asks, "Why don't you do what I say?" You can respond, "I respect your perspective, but I need to follow the path that aligns with my values and goals." This response acknowledges their input while asserting your autonomy. Work scenario. A manager insists on a particular method that you know is inefficient. Calmly responding, "I understand your approach, but based on experience, this method achieves better results. Let's see how it works." You demonstrate professionalism, reasoning, and independence without aggression. Friendship scenario. A friend demands you join them for an activity, and you decline, responding, "I appreciate the invitation, but I need to take care of my priorities today. I hope we can spend time together another time." Here, you maintain the relationship without sacrificing your boundaries. Why it's dangerous? The danger of this question lies in its subtle undermining of your sense of agency. Repeated exposure can lead to chronic people-pleasing behavior. You may start prioritizing others' desires over your own. Self-doubt, constantly questioning your choices because someone else demands compliance. Resentment, suppressed frustration at being manipulated or controlled. Toxic people understand that when you begin to question your autonomy, they gain power. They want to see you second-guess your decisions, feel guilty for exercising choice, and ultimately yield to their will. Practical Stoic approach: pause before reacting. Toxic questions are designed to provoke. A moment of calm prevents impulsive compliance. Assert your autonomy calmly. Use reasoned language to establish boundaries. Focus on principles, not approval. Your responsibility is to act according to reason, not to satisfy someone else's demands. Example: Stoic responses. I make decisions based on what I know is right. I respect your opinion, but I must follow my judgment. I understand your perspective. I'll act in a way that aligns with the principles I value. I appreciate your guidance, but I need to take responsibility for my own choices. These responses are calm, firm, and unemotional, removing the manipulator's leverage. They show respect without surrendering autonomy. Key takeaways. "Why don't you do what I say?" is rarely a question seeking dialogue. It is an attempt to assert control. Your autonomy is sacred. You are responsible for your own choices, not anyone else's approval. Responding with calm, reasoned clarity disarms manipulation and preserves your peace. Recognize that the question reflects the other person's desire for dominance, not a judgment on your competence or worth. By seeing the question as a reflection of the manipulator, not a verdict on you. You maintain your independence, protect your boundaries, and stay grounded. Stoicism teaches that external pressures have no power unless you grant it, and your choices, guided by reason and integrity, remain untouchable. 5. Why don't you share more? On the surface, this question may seem harmless. A friend, family member, or colleague asks, "Why don't you share more?" It sounds like a concern, an invitation to open up, or a desire for connection. But when used by a toxic person, it is rarely about your comfort or openness. Instead, it is a subtle tactic of control, designed to push your boundaries, test your vulnerability, and make you over-explain. Toxic people thrive on access, not just to your time or energy, but to your personal thoughts, feelings, and plans. By asking, "Why don't you share more?" they are implicitly saying, "I want to know everything about you. Your privacy is inconvenient. Your boundaries are negotiable." Their goal is not connection. It is leverage. Every detail you share can be used to manipulate, criticize, or control you. Psychological insight. This question is effective because it preys on the natural human desire for acceptance and belonging. Many of us feel obligated to open up to people we care about. Toxic individuals exploit this instinct. By framing privacy as reluctance, suspicion, or aloofness, they provoke guilt and self-doubt, nudging you toward over-disclosure. For example, a coworker repeatedly asks, "Why don't you share more about your plans?" then uses the information to undermine your decisions. A family member presses, "Why don't you share more of your life with me?" and reacts with criticism or judgment when you do. A friend insists, "Why don't you tell me everything that's going on?" only to gossip or manipulate what you disclose. In each case, the question is a subtle test. Will you maintain your boundaries, or will you give in to pressure? Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches that your mind and your private life are yours alone. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Keep yourself simple, good, pure, and unshaken. Do not let others' curiosity dictate your life." Your thoughts, plans, and feelings are not public property, and you are under no obligation to disclose them to anyone. When someone asks, "Why don't you share more?" the Stoic approach is to respond with calm self-possession and clarity, not defensiveness or guilt. You recognize that their question reflects their curiosity, insecurity, or desire for control, not a flaw in you. Real-life examples. Family scenario. A parent pressures you to disclose your plans for the weekend. "Why don't you share more?" You could respond, "I appreciate your interest, but some plans I keep private to maintain balance and independence." This respects your boundaries while remaining polite. Work scenario. A colleague repeatedly asks about your projects and intentions. Responding calmly, "I'll share what's necessary for the team's progress. Other details are part of my private workflow." You maintain professionalism while protecting personal space. Friendship scenario. A friend probes for emotional details. "Why don't you tell me everything?" A composed response, "I value our friendship, but some things I keep private. That helps me stay grounded and clear." You honor the relationship while asserting your autonomy. Why it's dangerous. The danger lies in how easily this question can erode boundaries. If you over-explain or justify your privacy, you grant the toxic person access and control over your thoughts and emotions. Over time, this can lead to emotional exhaustion from constant oversharing, loss of privacy, as your personal information becomes a tool for manipulation. Resentment. Because your boundaries are continually tested, toxic people rely on subtle guilt and pressure to turn your discretion into a problem. making you feel secretive, distant, or uncooperative, all while they reap the benefit of insight into your life. Practical Stoic approach: pause before responding. Consider why the question was asked and whether disclosure is necessary. Protect your boundaries calmly. You don't owe anyone your full inner life. Respond with clarity. A firm, polite response removes the manipulator's leverage without creating conflict. Example Stoic responses: I choose what I share based on relevance and respect for privacy. Some things I keep private to stay focused and balanced. I value our connection, but not every detail is for discussion. By responding in this way, you reclaim ownership over your personal life. The toxic person's attempt to provoke guilt or pride fails, and your boundaries remain intact. Key takeaways: why don't you share more? Is rarely about curiosity or concern. It is often a test of your boundaries. You have the right to privacy. Sharing selectively is a strength, not a flaw. Stoicism teaches that external pressures are neutral. Your response is what matters. Respond calmly, assert your boundaries, and maintain your peace. When handled wisely, this question loses its power. The manipulator can no longer use your privacy against you, and your autonomy remains untouchable. 6. Why are you avoiding me? This question often sounds wounded, confused, or even hurt. Why are you avoiding me? Can appear like a sincere attempt to reconnect. But when used by a toxic person, it is rarely about understanding. It is a pressure tactic designed to provoke guilt, force access, and challenge your right to distance. Toxic people struggle with one thing more than anything else: loss of control. When you pull back, reduce contact, or quietly create space, they feel it immediately. Instead of reflecting on their behavior, they frame your distance as a problem. Your problem. The question is not curiosity. It's an accusation disguised as concern. What they are really saying is, you are not allowed to distance yourself from me. Your boundaries threaten my access. I deserve your attention, regardless of how I treat you. Psychological insight. This question works because humans are conditioned to explain themselves. When accused of avoiding, many people instinctively defend, justify, or over-explain. Toxic individuals exploit this instinct. If they can pull you into a conversation about why you pulled away, they regain emotional leverage. Psychologically, this tactic triggers guilt and self-doubt. You may begin to question your own judgment. Am I being unfair? Am I overreacting? Should I give them another chance? This internal conflict benefits the toxic person. Your clarity weakens, and their access increases. In many cases, the avoidance is not accidental. It's self-protection. You pulled away because conversations were draining, boundaries were ignored, or respect was missing. But toxic people rarely tolerate silent consequences. They want confrontation, explanation, or reassurance. Anything except accountability. Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches that distance is not cruelty when it is guided by reason. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we are not obligated to expose ourselves to harm repeatedly. Peace of mind is a responsibility, not a luxury. From a Stoic view, you do not owe anyone constant access to your time, energy, or emotional presence. If someone disrupts your balance, stepping back is a rational act, not an emotional one. When a toxic person asks, "Why are you avoiding me?" the Stoic response begins internally. You recognize that your distance is a choice, not an offense. You understand that silence or space does not require permission. You refuse to let guilt override reason. Their discomfort with your boundary does not invalidate it. Real-life examples. Friendship scenario. A friend who constantly criticizes or drains you notices your reduced contact and asks, "Why are you avoiding me?" A grounded response might be, "I've been prioritizing peace and balance." That requires space, sometimes. You do not accuse, you do not explain in detail. You simply state your truth. Family scenario. A family member who disrespects boundaries confronts you. "Why are you avoiding me?" You can respond calmly, "I'm creating space to maintain emotional clarity. That's important to me." This reframes avoidance as intentional self-care, not rejection. Work scenario. A co-worker who thrives on drama notices you disengaging. "Why are you avoiding me?" A professional response, "I'm focusing on my responsibilities and keeping communication purposeful." You protect your space without escalating conflict. Why it's dangerous? The danger of this question lies in how easily it can pull you back into unhealthy dynamics. If you give long explanations, apologies, or emotional reassurance, you teach the toxic person that your boundaries are negotiable. Over time, this leads to boundary erosion. Your space is constantly challenged. Emotional fatigue. You feel drained explaining yourself. Loss of authority. Others believe they are entitled to your availability. Toxic people don't fear confrontation. They fear indifference and distance. That's why this question appears the moment you stop engaging. Practical Stoic approach. Do not over-explain. Explanations invite debate. Boundaries do not. Stay neutral. Emotion gives the question power. Calm removes it. Affirm your choice. Distance does not need justification. Example, Stoic responses. I'm managing my time and energy more intentionally. I step back when I need clarity and balance. I'm not avoiding. I'm prioritizing what's healthy for me. Each response is calm, non-accusatory, and firm. It denies the manipulator the emotional reaction they seek. Key takeaways. Why are you avoiding me? Is often not about connection, but control. Distance is a valid response to repeated disrespect or emotional strain. You are not obligated to explain your boundaries in detail. Stoicism teaches that peace is preserved through reason, not guilt. When you stop reacting and start responding with clarity, the question loses its power. Your silence, space, and calm become statements in themselves. You are not avoiding. You are choosing peace over chaos. 7. Who else knows about this? At first glance, this question might seem harmless curiosity. Someone just wants to know who else is involved, or they're checking facts. But when posed by a toxic person, it is rarely innocent. Who else knows about this is a classic manipulative tactic designed to gather information, test your loyalty, and exert control over what you share. Toxic people thrive on information as leverage. Every detail you disclose can be twisted, spread, or weaponized. By asking who else knows, they are fishing for connections, allies, or weak points. This question subtly pressures you to over-explain, reveal secrets, or justify your trust. Their goal is rarely clarity. It's control. The less you share, the more they feel the need to probe. The more you reveal, the more they can use it to manipulate, gossip, or corner you. Psychological insight. Humans naturally want to respond honestly, especially when asked directly. But this instinct is exactly what toxic people exploit. By framing the question as concern or curiosity, they provoke guilt, as if withholding information is wrong, anxiety, worrying about what they might do with the information, over-explanation, giving more detail than necessary. For example, a colleague asks, "Who else knows about the project?" Not because they're curious, but to control the narrative and track your connections. A friend probes, "Who else knows what happened?" to create gossip, compare alliances, or undermine your judgment. A family member repeatedly asks, "Who else knows?" to maintain access to your private life and keep you accountable to them instead of yourself. This question is a test, a subtle way to measure how much they can control you. Stoic perspective Stoicism teaches that information is neutral. What matters is how you protect yourself and act with reason. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Don't let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. Your privacy and discretion are part of that peace." When a toxic person asks, "Who else knows about this?" Stoic approach is clear. Recognize that the question is a reflection of their desire for control, not a measure of your honesty. Protect your information intentionally. Only share what is necessary and safe. Respond calmly, without over-explaining, emotional reaction or guilt. Your goal is not to avoid accountability, but to preserve your autonomy and boundaries. Real-life examples. Work scenario. A manager asks, "Who else knows about this client issue?" Instead of over-explaining or panicking, a stoic response might be, "I've informed the relevant team members. That's all that's necessary for now." You maintain professionalism while protecting sensitive information. Friendship scenario. A friend asks, "Who else knows what happened last weekend?" You could respond, "I've only shared it with those involved. That's all that matters." You assert your discretion and subtly signal that your personal life is not open for gossip. Family scenario. A relative presses, "Who else knows about this family matter?" Calmly responding, "I've shared details only with those who need to know. I prioritize discretion." This protects boundaries while remaining polite. Why it's dangerous. The danger of this question is subtle but powerful. It can pressure you into oversharing, giving toxic people ammunition for gossip or manipulation. It can undermine your trust in yourself, making you second-guess what should be private. It can shift power from you to the toxic person, who now holds leverage over your relationships and decisions. Toxic individuals thrive when they control information, because it gives them the ability to influence, intimidate, or manipulate others, and even you. Practical Stoic approach: pause before responding. Recognize it as a probing tactic. You don't owe a detailed answer. Protect your boundaries calmly. Only share what is necessary or safe. Respond clearly and neutral. Avoid defensive or emotional reactions. Example, Stoic responses. "I've only shared it with those directly involved. I'm keeping the circle limited for privacy and focus. The relevant people are aware. That's all that matters right now." Each response is neutral, factual, and firm. It protects your information while denying the manipulator emotional leverage. Key takeaways. Who else knows about this is rarely innocent. It's a tool for control and manipulation. Your discretion is your power. You decide what to share and with whom. Stoicism teaches that external pressures are neutral. Your response is what matters. Respond calmly, set boundaries, and preserve your peace. By seeing this question for what it truly is, a probe, not a genuine inquiry, You maintain control of your personal life and prevent toxic people from gaining leverage. 8. Who do you think you are? When someone asks, "Who do you think you are?" it can feel like a personal attack. The words hit directly at your identity, confidence, and sense of self. On the surface, it may appear like a challenge, a rhetorical question, or even a joke. But in the hands of a toxic person, it is a classic manipulative tactic, designed to provoke defensiveness, make you feel smaller, and question your own authority. Toxic people often thrive by undermining the self-confidence of others. They want to destabilize your sense of identity so that they can control your behavior. By asking, "Who do you think you are?" they are essentially saying, "You are not entitled to think, act, or feel this way. Your perspective is inferior to mine." It's a subtle assertion of dominance, disguised as curiosity or critique, psychological insight. This question exploits one of the most basic human tendencies, the need for self-validation and social acceptance. When asked this, most people feel the instinct to justify themselves. They try to explain their choices, defend their actions, or prove their worth. Toxic individuals know this instinct well. By prompting a defensive reaction, they regain emotional leverage and place themselves in a position of power. For example, a coworker dismisses your ideas during a meeting and asks, "Who do you think you are?" Their goal isn't dialogue, it's to make you doubt your competence. A family member criticizes your lifestyle choices and says, "Who do you think you are?" They aim to assert control and enforce conformity. A partner challenges a personal boundary and asks, "Who do you think you are?" The subtext is you are overstepping your place. In each case, the question is less about curiosity and more about intimidation. Stoic perspective Stoicism teaches that your identity and worth are determined internally, not by others' judgments. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When someone asks, "Who do you think you are?" the Stoic perspective is the question is a reflection of their insecurity, ego, or desire for control. Your sense of self is untouchable unless you allow it to be influenced. External challenges to your identity are opportunities to practice calm, reasoned confidence. Your response does not require defensiveness, apology, or aggression. It requires clarity, composure, and self-possession. Real-life examples work scenario. A colleague challenges your approach to a project. Who do you think you are to decide that? A grounded Stoic response could be, "I make decisions based on experience and reasoning. That's how I contribute." This response asserts competence without belittling the other person or reacting emotionally. Family scenario. A parent questions your career choice. Who do you think you are to make that decision? A calm, centered response. I am someone responsible for my own life. I make choices based on my values and goals. You assert autonomy while remaining respectful. Social scenario. A friend criticizes a boundary you set. Who do you think you are to say no? A firm, composed response. I am someone who knows their limits. Setting boundaries is necessary for my well-being. You protect yourself without engaging in conflict. Why it's dangerous? This question is dangerous because it targets the core of your identity. Repeated exposure can lead to self-doubt. You may start questioning your competence or authority. People-pleasing behavior, constantly trying to prove yourself to others. Erosion of boundaries, feeling obligated to justify your choices or give in. Toxic individuals understand that attacking identity is more effective than attacking specific actions. When your sense of self wavers, your confidence, autonomy, and inner peace are all at risk. Practical Stoic approach: pause and center yourself. Recognize the manipulation and refuse to react impulsively. Respond calmly and factually. Assert your identity without defensiveness. Anchor yourself in your principles. Your worth and choices come from reason, integrity, and values, not external approval. Example: Stoic responses. I am someone who acts with reason and integrity. I make decisions based on knowledge and principle, not on permission from others. I know who I am, and that does not require validation from anyone else. Each response is neutral, confident, and boundary-affirming. By responding this way, you deny the manipulator the emotional reaction they seek. Key takeaways: who do you think you are is rarely a genuine question. It's a power play. Your identity is determined internally, not by external opinion. Stoicism teaches that external judgments are neutral. Your perception is what gives them power. Respond calmly, assert your autonomy, and maintain inner peace. When handled correctly, this question loses all power. It becomes a reflection of the other person's insecurity, not a critique of your value or abilities. Your confidence, boundaries, and sense of self remain intact, untouchable by their manipulative tactics. Toxic people rely on subtle tricks, manipulative questions, and emotional pressure to control, confuse, or provoke you. But here's the truth. Their words have no power over you unless you give it to them. Every question they ask, from "Why are you so sensitive?" to "Who do you think you are?" is designed to test your boundaries, make you doubt yourself, and steal your peace. But once you recognize the trap, their attempts at control start to fail. The key is awareness and calm response. Pause before reacting. Protect your privacy. Affirm your boundaries. Respond with clarity and reason, not guilt or defensiveness. Stoicism teaches us that inner peace, integrity, and self-respect are non-negotiable. No manipulative question can touch them unless you allow it. Remember, your feelings are valid. Your boundaries are yours to set. Your identity and choices are untouchable. When you respond calmly, firmly, and intentionally, toxic people lose their power. Their manipulations become meaningless words, and your peace untouchable. Stay aware, stay calm, stay sovereign over your mind and life. That is how you become truly unshakable. On-screen text suggestion: recognize the trap, protect your peace, respond with calm. Your power is yours alone.